Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am the stepson of Krypton.
It's your boy Mantis. I just had to do it because I know it's the most annoying fucking thing. If you want to cut it, we can start over. I just was thinking about it all day and I had to do it.
I kind of want to quit the channel now. But for the sake of all of our new subscribers, I'm not going to do that. But no, I've seen, there was a real quick story. There's a guy who does Grand Theft Auto 5, like money glitch videos. He always start everyone, it's your boy. And I was just like, oh God. Like, can you just get to
the I don't know you.
Right?
Like, I don't know you. You're not my boy. I don't know you.
You are not my boy. However, for you guys, we may not be your boys, but today we are discussing here. It's actually kind of when we look at the list of videos we were wanting to record today, I was like, it's kind of depressing. It's about all these movies not coming out that we were kind of expecting sequels to. So
I know.
For this particular one, though, James Gunn, who obviously there's been a lot of information with the Superman and all of this, kind of going back to 2019, where he was a producer for the movie Brightburn, just confirmed there will be no sequel for Brightburn. Now, for those of you who may not know, may not have heard of Brightburn, it was kind of a little indie movie, cost like $6 million to make. I think it made like $33 million in the box office. It was basically a horror film, but it was basically an evil Superman. Now, it's never said he is Superman. He is not portraying Clark Kent. He is not even portraying a Kryptonian. He is portraying an alien.
Pretty fucking obvious.
He is portraying an alien that landed in Kansas, not Smallville, next town over. That landed in Kansas, gets adopted, and has superpowers, speed, flight, invulnerability, heat vision, super breath. Completely different than Superman.
Yeah, not even remotely the same, quite frankly. It's a movie I thought it was okay, and again, I know that Cal hates when I say it was okay. It was fine. Like,
that's what I hate right there is the
yeah. Because here's the thing: I love horror. I love horror movies. I really love horror movies. And not like superhero movies. This is like a bastardized child of both. And I feel like it wasn't, if they would have leaned into it like an adult Superman, because like, again, the movie Brightburn is kind of takes place when the antagonist / protagonist, like the main character of this film, who's the bad version of Clark Kent,
I think
essentially,
he's just antagonist.
He's kind of both. He's a kid. He's a kid. Like, he's a kid in this movie, which is kind of creepy in itself. Don't get me wrong, but I would have preferred in being an older version of the character that they're trying to not infringe copyright on, and because you get to do way more things with it, and probably why they did it was because of the budget of the movie, because then they didn't have to go all crazy Zod blowing up cities with it. But I think they didn't actually pick a lane to stay in. It wasn't a superhero movie, but it really wasn't a horror movie. It was like it was almost like a slasher flick, like Scream. Like, Scream's not a horror movie. It's a slasher movie, like a thriller. Like, to me, that's what Brightburn was. There was no supernatural stuff. I mean, barely an alien. I mean, like, Aliens is kind of sci-fi horror, but there are actually aliens who are creepy looking and like gross and all that stuff and scary. Like, this is just more like some demented kid who got bullied too many times and then went ape shit because he had powers. And so to me, it was just like, it wasn't a horror movie really, and it wasn't a superhero movie really. So it was stuck in the middle. And I don't know. To me, part of that, and as well as, again, it was in 2019. So you've got, the big event that happened everywhere right around that time. So I think that probably played into it as well. And there's never been a film like this before. So I don't know. People have done superhero comedies before. You have Meteor Man, that type of
Blank
thing.
Man.
Blank Man. What was the one with Ben Stiller? Mystery Men. You have, which I love Mystery Men. It's a great. That's a great movie. But you've never had something like a horror superhero flick, especially one portraying a pretty popular one. So I think there was just too much going against it at the time. And it's probably the reason why it didn't fail. Probably same reason why they're not going to pour any more money into it at this point.
Well, so here's the thing. Spoiler alert, because I was meaning to say that before we even started talking. If you haven't watched the show, it's been ruined now if you've made it this far. So
Unlucky.
Sorry. I'll put something at the beginning of the video, but
look, it's been 5 years. I feel like we're past the the stay of execution, past the what is it? The statute of limitations. Like, or it's.
I'm going to agree with Mantis on this. We're past the statute of limitations. We are going to talk about this, assuming people have seen it, or obviously you didn't care enough to go see it. So expect the movie to be spoiled for you. The episode's going to be labeled Brightburn, so I'd like to hope you've seen the movie before you click on it. But I liked it because, so now, James Gunn has even said it obviously it was not Superman. It was very, very closely based off of, and a lot of people had considered it Earth 3 Superman. So before the New 52 came out, Earth 3 is basically the parallel evil universe where Superman is evil. There's the Injustice League. All of them are evil. Earth 3 was considered for the multiverse was the birthplace of evil. Is basically what that universe, or I say not Earth 3, but the universe that Earth 3 is in is like the birthplace of evil. That's the evil universe, where evil shenanigans happen and
evil shenanigans.
Surprised you didn't know that.
Gotta think any show. I'm surprised you didn't know that. But that's so they basically said that Brightburn was like the Earth 3 Superman, even though he's not Clark Kent, because he is found in Brightburn, Kansas, and he gets raised by the Bryars, and he becomes Brandon Breyer instead of Clark Kent. Just B's instead of C's in case, like they just really just kind of, again, nobody spraying any brain cells there coming up with this, but I like it because it shows what could happen when you, like, we already have an evil, douchey Superman. It's Homelander and the boys, right? We already got what happens when Superman is bad as a grown adult, even though this came out beforehand. We know what happens as an adult. And in that, when you watch it, you're like, God, he's just kind of an asshole. I think what made it scary is that he is a kid. He is like, 12, 13 years old, coming into realizing he's the most powerful being on the planet, and if you aren't cared for and nurtured, because his dad's kind of a dick to him in the movie. But you kind of realize that if you're not cared for and nurtured, he can go bad.
Jonathan's kind of a dick. Like, quite frankly, Jonathan's kind of a dick to Clark and normal Superman. Like,
No, like Jonathan is a dad to Superman, like, or dad to Clark. Like, he is, like he's trying to raise him, as a country boy. He's trying to make sure that nobody, and that's their big thing, was that nobody found out who he was and that they would take him away from him. If in Brightburn, the dad is always just like, he never really accepted the son as being his son. There was always that detachment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It kind of, fed his, insecurities, obviously. You could totally see how the way that the dad in Brightburn is opposed to Jonathan, although I think they were both dicks in their own way.
Oh, being a dick ain't so bad. See, there's 3 kinds of people: dicks, pussies, and assholes.
They came from a completely different place. Like, again, Jonathan was was trying to raise him right and be the loving father and all of this. It was just a tough love type thing. Obviously, in Brightburn, that's not the case at all.
Well, I mean, you're going to think your dad's a dick if he's not going to let you play football or hang out with other kids and things like that, or your mom's not letting you do this because they're trying to keep you safe. Even for us mortals who don't have superpowers, you're going to think your parents are dicks because they don't let you have candy for dinner and stuff like that. That's different than, like the way, like I said, in Brightburn, his dad is just so cold to him, and you can tell like he's just like he never really accepted him as his son, even though they can't have kids. So it's like, fucking deal with it. You could have adopted,
right?
But whatever. But I think having it being the kid is kind of what makes it more on the horror aspect.
Hello, Danny. Come play with us, Danny.
And then they kind of go with the Saul hostile route of the brutal deaths, like when she's picking the glass out of her eyeball and they're zoomed in on it. And the dad, when his jaw's hanging down because he picked the truck up and just fucking, like, that was, I don't want to say horror.
There's some gory. There's some gore in there. Yeah.
Now, where a lot of us were, and reason why I guess for like me, this is a bigger deal that there's no sequel to it, was at the end of the movie, it's like the post-credit scene. Well, at the end of the movie, you basically see him start to, like, he took down an airliner, he starts destroying things, and people are learning that this person exists. Well, the post-credit scene shows, if you watch it closely, that there is, and he even says, he goes, what about this person in the ocean there that's capsizing all these boats and stuff, and you look and it looks like an evil Aquaman,
like that half man half sea creature capsizing fishing vessels in the South China Sea, like what we were talking about last week, some kind of witch woman who choked people out with ropes and cords.
And they talk about some witch that's hanging people with this rope, which is Wonder Woman's lasso, but it shows 6 different screens. If you pay attention, that's the only 2 they mention. There's 6 different ones, and one you see another red figure that could probably be the evil Flash and stuff. But like basically, that's the other 6 people of the Justice League or the Injustice League. So they set it up.
So this feeds into your Earth 3.
Yeah,
they were talking about.
Yeah, and they set it up like they were going to do multiple movies of this darker, like all of these are the characters, but the evil versions of them. And we just got James Gunn just confirmed that's not going to happen. So.
Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting. I can see it be kind of cool as like a series or like a mini series type thing. That would be actually kind of interesting. You don't have to put like a full weight of a production studio behind it. Like this would be something cool for Max, I think. Do like a couple of smaller movies or like a mini series, something like that. I think would be interesting to explore the horror aspect of some of this stuff. That'd be kind of cool. Well, but I get the point of not wanting to do mainstream movies with it.
I think his big thing with it is he's taken on a lot with the Superman, Supergirl, and all of these others that they've got coming up that, why bite off more than you can chew, right? As well, if they're going to allow J.J. Abrams' Black Superman and they're running the Robert Pattinson's Batman and the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, like, again, there's too much going on at this point, right?
Yeah, too many projects.
Yeah, just let it be. It was what it was. Now he doesn't make an evil Superman. Maybe his Superman in his movie will become evil, and he can fulfill his dream of having an evil Superman.
Interesting. Yeah, could be.
I don't know. I was excited to see it kind of grow again. And, when you mentioned it be on like Max or something, the first movie, I mean, the movie was on a budget of $6 million. That's nothing for an HBO Max show. They made a whole movie.
I think it would be, to me, it's perfect for like straight to Max, like this type of concept. I don't think it's strong enough and probably proved it in its not very good showing at the theaters. It's like, I feel like something like this probably nowadays wouldn't perform well at the theater, but I think it could be something perfect.
Hey, it more than like 5x'd its budget. Okay.
I get it. I'm just saying I don't think it would do well if you're going to try to do all 6 of these, like if you're going to try and do all of the Justice League movies like that, I think Max is such a better platform for something like that.
Oh, I agree with you. Just, I'm like, you had no problem wasting $220 million on Madam Web and the Marvels and things like that. You can throw a little. I know that's Marvel versus DC. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying movie studios in general.
Well, they both.
You want to throw a little money behind these. You could probably make the whole group of movies for like $300 million. I mean, fuck, if that one movie cost
they always think
$6.
They always think the next one's going to work. It's like, I know all of these have failed, but this is the one. This is the one that's going to work. I'm telling you, Madam Web is the one. It's like, it's not. It's not the one. It's just not. I don't know. I don't know how many times you have to see. It's like, it's just not. It's not going to work. But
only 17 more.
Yeah. I'll kind of give my final thoughts on this. It kind of sucks that they're not going to explore it. At least it sends no plans right now. It's not completely out of the picture, but plans right now, which probably means within the next 3 years, is not going to happen. I think it's something that would be perfect for streaming. I think they could totally do that. James Gunn, you have to deal with it. Like, this is the type of stuff it's Elseworlds type shit. Like it's not has anything to do with what he's working with. This is just the IP properties which WB and Max own. Give it to some side project director or studio and put it in Max.
Yeah, but technically, because like with Brightburn, again, it's not Superman. He's never said Superman. He's never even explored his origins and all that. So it's their own thing. They don't have to get rights from anybody. Other than who the company was, or who owns the rights to that movie and that storyline. But essentially I know Gunn was only a producer.
I'm just saying, I know. I'm just saying, if you do that and then you do one that has a killer guy in the ocean that controls fish, and you have another guy that is super fast and he's evil, and you have another woman who uses a rope to kill people, it's pretty fucking obvious of what's happening here, and it's very close to copyright infringement. That I don't think that I think if they leaned into the third Earth 3 that you're talking about, part of this, the injustice type aspect of it, it flies. But if they're trying to keep, well, it's not really this, it's kind of its own thing, and it has nothing to do with any of this, I just don't think it's going to fly. I don't think it would fly in court.
The Boys has a guy called Homelander that has a red and blue suit that flies, has X-ray vision, heat vision, super hearing, super strength, invulnerability, and they get away with it.
Yeah, but it's not the same as Alien crash lands in Kansas, has adoptive parents. Like, it's the exact same fucking storyline as Superman. Like, it's literally the same storyline. His name's just not Clark Kent, and it's not Smallville. Like,
exactly, that's completely different. I don't see what the problem is here.
I do not see the disconnect.
I'm not saying I don't think it would fly. I'm saying I don't think a court would let it fly. But that's just my opinion.
Have you seen court nowadays? That argument I just made would probably work.
Actually,
it's completely
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. You're probably right.
They're like,
nowadays.
it's completely different. And they're kids, like, let it go. My final thoughts on it are that I get it. I would have liked to see something else happen. Maybe somebody else will pick it up and James Gunn will allow him to. Especially, it was written with his brother and all of that. Maybe they'll do something with it, and just not have James Gunn as a part of it. Again, if they can go the route of continuing on the stories and not bring it into, as far as compare it to Superman and the DC stuff, and they keep it its own separate thing, I think it could be cool. It's a little contrast to what we're used to seeing out of either DC, because DC is darker, but it's still good guys prevailing, right? You know, it's still, it's not like picking glass out of their eyeballs and, you know, their face getting literally just smashed and things like that. So I think it could be cool. But
yeah, you're right. The Boys does that, but it's not in a horror sense. It's like a comedy sense.
Yeah. A realistic sense of, now I know, like, real quick, like when he takes his mom up through the fucking ceiling of their house, she's all messed up, man. Like, because if you flew a human with no protection as fast as he took off, she's not going to be okay. You know, so, but the Boys kind of does that too, right? They keep it in a sense of reality, but again, because of it not being a kid and all of this, it's again more comical than it is horror. So,
right.
But we'll see. We don't know what the future holds. All I do know is what the future doesn't hold, and that is a Brightburn sequel. So,
unlucky.
If guys, you've made it with us this far, we definitely do appreciate it. We want to thank all of our newest subscribers, as well as I fucked you up. I didn't do the like, comment, subscribe thing because I wanted to see where you were going to point first. But we do want to thank all of our newest subscribers, as well as everybody who continues to be subscribed to the channel. You guys are the reasons we do this. If you like this video, consider clicking the little button. He's going to show you where at some point here. Or are you not going to do it now? Over me this time. I had to put it over you this last time. Consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and hit the stupid bell notification, guys. I know it's annoying. You got to click on 18,000 things but we got a lot of great content coming here in the future with all of the movies getting ready to release and all of the TV shows. So make sure you have the notifications so you will get all of our videos when we come out with all of that. Nothing. You're not going to add anything?
Ditto. What he said.
I'm going to have you replaced. There's just going to be like
I've talked this whole goddamn video. I feel like I'll let you take the spotlight a little bit.
Okay, we'll go with that. Sure. And then also let us know down in the comments, guys. Forgive our insanity. What you guys thought, if you've seen Brightburn, if you liked it, if you wanted to see a continuation of the Brightburn into the Injustice League, so to speak. And, you know, what you feel about the news of Gunn not doing a sequel to it. And Mantis, unless you have anything else.
No, I'm so perplexed. I just don't understand. I'm gonna lose sleep over why he's not doing a sequel. Just kidding. No,
or you can be a dick about it. You know, hey, that works too.
It sucks. Sucks, but my only thing is, again, I know we've done final thoughts. If he's gonna do it, if he does this, if they do explore this again, they need to lean heavily into the horror aspect of it. That's my only request.
The horror aspect? I mean, his mom seemed a little promiscuous, but
the horror.
Okay, I thought you said horror aspect.
I mean, you know, the women shaking their behinds for the men folk is fine as well.
I kind of like her idea.
Horrors running around doing their little behind shake for the men folk.
I kind of like her idea.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We will catch you on the next one.
Later.